Ideal in the shadows. The night was silent and heavy with the chill of late autumn. In the heart of an exclusive neighborhood, Richard Harrington's mansion loomed like a fortress, its sprawling grounds and tall wrought iron gates a testament to his wealth and status. Inside, Richard sat in his study, the glow of a vintage desk lamp casting warm light on the leather-bound books lining the walls. A glass of scotch rested beside him as he reviewed quarterly reports from his multinational company. Little did he know, danger was already at his doorstep. Outside the estate, four men moved with calculated precision. Dressed in black from head to toe, their faces obscured by ski masks, they crept toward the rear entrance of the mansion. Their leader, Victor, was a man of chilling composure and ruthless efficiency. Behind him was Andre, a towering brute with a knack for intimidation. Marcus, the group's tech specialist, and Ethan, the youngest, whose jittery movements betrayed his inexperience. Victor held up his hand, signaling the others to stop. "Marcus," he whispered, his voice barely audible, "take care of the security system." Marcus crouched beside a hidden control panel and connected his portable hacking device. Within seconds, the mansion's alarm system was disabled. A faint beep confirmed their access. "We're in," Marcus said, his voice steady. The group entered through a side door, their footsteps muffled by the thick carpet. The mansion was vast, its grandeur evident even in the dim light. Paintings by renowned artists adorned the walls, and ornate chandeliers hung from the ceilings. Yet, the intruders were not here for art. They sought the rumored safe hidden somewhere within. Unaware of the intruders, Richard leaned back in his chair, savoring the quiet. The faint creak of a floorboard broke his reverie. He froze, his senses sharpened. Setting his glass down, he opened a drawer and retrieved an antique revolver, a family heirloom he kept loaded for emergencies. "I'm always delighted." One thing. The study door burst open and the four men stormed in, their weapons drawn. "Don't move," Victor commanded, his voice cold and authoritative. Richard raised his hands slowly, his expression calm despite the adrenaline surging through him. "Well," he said, his voice steady, "this is quite the uninvited visit. 4 armed men in my home. Let me guess, you're not here to admire the art." Andre stepped forward, his imposing figure towering over Richard. "Cut the sarcasm, old man. Where's the safe?" Richard's lips curled into a faint smile. "Ah, straight to the point. Admirable. But you'll find I'm not so easily intimidated." Victor gestured to Andre to hold back. "We know who you are, Harrington. You're a man with resources. And secrets. Tell us where the safe is, and this ends quickly." Richard leaned back in his chair, his mind racing. Outnumbered and outgunned, his only weapon was his wit. "And if I don't?" he asked, his tone almost amused. And after a few more silences, Victor's eyes narrowed. "Then we'll tear this place apart until we find it. And you won't like what happens in the meantime." "Hmm?" Victor's eyes were... Eason shifted nervously, his hands trembling as he gripped his weapon. Richard noticed the young man's unease and decided to exploit it. "You," he said, addressing Ethan directly. "First job? I can tell you're not like the others." Ethan flinched, his grip tightening. "Shut up. You don't know anything about me." "On the contrary," Richard replied smoothly, "I know fear when I see it. You're not cut out for this life." "Enough," Victor snapped. He turned to Marcus. "Check the cameras. Make sure we're clear." Victor snorted. Marcus pulled out his tablet, accessing the live security feed. His expression darkened. "We have a problem," he said. Two SUVs just pulled up outside the gate. Victor's jaw tightened. "Who are they?" Richard's smile widened. "Ah, that would be my private security team. You see, I activated the silent alarm the moment I heard you downstairs. They're likely surrounding the property as we speak." Andre cursed under his breath, his bravado faltering. Ethan's hands began to shake, visibly. "We're trapped," he muttered. "Not necessarily," Richard interjected. "You're clever enough to make it this far, so I'll assume you're also clever enough to negotiate." Victoria's eyes narrowed. "Negotiate?" Richard gestured toward the bookshelf behind him. "Behind that shelf is a secondary safe. Inside, you'll find something far more valuable than cash or jewels. Information. Bank accounts, offshore holdings, and names of people who owe me favors. Walk away now, and I'll ensure you leave with enough to make this worth your while." Andre scoffed. "And what's stopping us from taking it all and killing you?" "Simple," Richard replied, his voice ice cold. "If anything happens to me, that information becomes worthless. It's coded, encrypted, and requires my biometric verification. Kill me, and you'll have nothing but a useless pile of data." Victor considered this, his calculating mind weighing the risks. The sound of approaching footsteps outside the mansion made the decision for him. "All right," he said. "Show us." Richard stood and moved to the bookshelf, pressing a hidden button. The shelf slid aside, revealing a small safe. He entered a code, and the door swung open to reveal a stack of documents and a flash drive. "Take it," Richard said, handing the drive to Victor. "But remember, if I hear about you using this for anything other than what we've agreed upon, I'll make sure you regret it," said Victor. Victor nodded, signaling his team to move. "Let's go." The intruders fled into the night, disappearing moments before the security team entered the study. Richard calmly explained the situation to the guards, downplaying the severity of the encounter. After that, Richard slowly lay on his stomach, crying. As the night wore on and the adrenaline subsided, Richard poured himself another glass of scotch. Staring into the amber liquid, he couldn't help but wonder if he had just outmaneuvered a group of desperate criminals or merely delayed their inevitable return. Either way, he knew one thing for certain. The game of survival was one he played better than most. Shrugging off the noodles and snagging a glass of water, he paid for his drink, and got straight. Tell us about your opinion in comments. We'll be happy to hear from you.